this month, we will be hosting a wildfire risk and readiness workshop Tuesday, May 19th. Join us to hear from local experts, learn practical steps for reducing risk, creating defensible space, and preparing for wildfire season. If virtual events are more your style, our friends at the Nature Conservancy and the Don't Move Firewood campaign are hosting a series of virtual events for Emerald Ash Borer Awareness Week, May 17th through 23rd. Experts from across the country are hosting a series of free webinars covering EAB impacts, management strategies, and outreach efforts. As EAB has been detected in Oregon and Marion County, the Don't Move Firewood campaign encourages everyone to source firewood locally and follow quarantine guidelines to help stop the spread. For more information, you can visit don'tmovefirewood.org or register for these presentations at the link shown here. If agricultural conservation is of particular interest to someone you know or to you, we hope you'll consider bringing conservation education directly to your club or classroom. Marion SWCD offers agriculture conservation education, or ACE, presentations tailored toward 4-H clubs and FFA chapters in Marion County. Learn about livestock management, pasture health, and water quality, including our manure managed program. Limited tarps are available to help cover manure piles while supplies last. If you're interested in scheduling a presentation or to learn more, please reach out to myself or the district to see how we can get involved. So I want to start by introducing our guest. Sage Fairman is the Deputy Director of the Oregon Climate and Agriculture Network, or OrCAN, bringing over 7 years of experience in food systems and regenerative agriculture in the Pacific Northwest. She coordinates OrCAN's statewide collaborative soil health network, which works to ensure all of Oregon's producers have the support they need to improve soil health and build climate resilience. So please welcome Sage.
Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. Today, I am sharing about soil health for all areas big and small. A little bit about OrCAN, or the Oregon Climate and Agriculture Network. Our mission is to convene an inclusive, producer-centered network to promote soil health and climate resilience across Oregon through collaboration, education, and advocacy. We envision a future where healthy soils are the foundation of thriving food systems in Oregon, reconnecting healthy ecosystems, economies, and communities. And we further our work through our values and leading with stewardship, connection and community, accountability, equity, justice, and inclusion. I want to take a moment here to kind of ground in what healthy soil is. So I want you to kind of just take a moment for yourself. And if you've gone through or if you've attended a presentation from Shannon Capolazzi with OSU Extension, you might know where I'm going here. If you can close your eyes and picture a time that you were interacting with the soil, working with the soil. What do you see? What did you feel? What does the soil smell like? What are the senses that you're getting? I feel like smell particularly invokes the scenery and can really ground you in what the soil looks like, feels like, smells like. You might be picturing something that is like dark, almost like black soil, something that is textured and there's good aeration and it holds together but isn't too stiff and dry. It might smell earthy. Or maybe there's a worm in your hand and some organic matter and some roots of a plant. And maybe there's other things that you picture too. Love to have you put that in the chat too. And something that this exercise does is that we all know and inherently understand what healthy soil is. So really, to start off this presentation, my first lesson is trust in your observations and take the time to slow down, observe the soil, and take that time to understand what healthy soil looks like and feels like. And there's also a definition of what healthy soil is. So soil health is the continued capacity of soil to function as a vital living ecosystem that sustains plants, animals, and humans. The key word here, I feel like, is the vital living ecosystem. Soil is alive, and if soil is healthy, that means it has a continued capacity to function. The USDA Natural Resources Conservation Service has established 4 key soil health principles. These include maximizing living roots, maximize soil cover, maximize biodiversity, and minimize disturbance. These principles are broad on purpose to encapsulate many different types of practices of what you can actually do with the soil to improve soil health. And so a soil health practice, as you could guess, is an agricultural practice that improves soil health and is consistent with the soil health principles. And our approach at OrCAN is that soil health is not about just a single practice or a rigid methodology. It's a diverse set of management practices that is adapted to your land, to your soil, to your garden bed, and requires taking a holistic approach, looking at the soil from a bird's eye view, looking microscopically, in all the different ways. Why do we care about soil health? We know that soil health can improve water infiltration, which, if the water actually gets into the soil and seeps into the soil, that can help grow your plants better, and you're not wasting more water, which is expensive. It can increase water and nutrient holding capacity, reduces erosion. Soil health provides increased biodiversity and pollinator habitat. Healthy soil builds resilience to pests and diseases, resilience to drought and extreme weather. With healthy soil, you'll see increased productivity and likely reduced input cost if you don't need to buy as many fertilizers, if you're getting those nutrients, if you already have those nutrients in the soil, through various soil health practices that I'll touch on in a moment. And healthy soil can sequester carbon and reduce greenhouse gas emissions. Again, each farm with its own unique geography, conditions, and management needs, each garden plot, you can find solutions that work for your land, and implement multiple soil health practices that can yield greater results. So I'll go through a few examples of soil health practices and their benefits. One practice is minimizing tillage or no-till. We also see for more ranches prescribed a rotational grazing as a soil health practice that manages a harvest of vegetation with the grazing or kind of browsing of animals, with the intent to achieve a specific ecological, economic, and management objective. Cover cropping is another soil health practice by growing crops that maintain living roots in the soil, maybe add a nutrient you're missing if you're just growing crops for consumption or for cash crops. And this provides cover, live cover, and living roots. Hedgerow planting is another soil health practice. This is replacing a strip of cropland or a row of crops with a row of woody plants. Woody plants have deeper roots and can hold the soil in place better. And it also increases biodiversity by providing bird habitat. Similar with riparian buffers, this is replacing a strip of cropland near creeks, rivers, or water bodies, as we have many in the Willamette Valley, with perennial plants. Again, some of the benefits here is pollinator and bird habitat, water quality protection, reduction of wind, and moderating temperatures by providing shade cover. Compost and or biochar application. Compost improves soil organic matter and can improve carbon sequestration rates. And biochar can store carbon and improves also soil organic matter and water holding capacity. And there's many other agricultural practices that are climate friendly and support resilience overall. That can include efficient irrigation, so using a drip line that reduces your water use, and on-farm renewables and more. So soil health is not only important for your crops and the plants that you're growing, but it's also a key strategy to be resilient to climate change. And climate resilience can lead to and kind of equals long-term farm success and viability. I'm talking a lot about farms, as that is what OrCAN focuses on. We work with farmers, ranchers, and farm service providers, but all of this information applies to gardeners as well. So soil health is important in all different scales. Going back to what we do at OrCAN, we know that because their work is directly tied to land and water, Oregon's farmers and ranchers are on the front lines of disasters and of climate change. Farmers and ranchers really play a key role in mitigating climate change and building disaster resilience by cultivating healthy soil. Soil health practices increase climate resilience of farms and ranches. And so as we face increasing threats from heat domes, we see that it'll be in the 80s this weekend and early May, drought as we're experiencing across the state, floods, wildfires, and unpredictable weather, soil health practices are more important than ever. One project that OrCAN piloted in this past year is our soil health network. Our statewide soil health network focuses on soil health and climate resilience. We connect farmers, ranchers, and farm service providers with each other to increase capacity, build support, share resources, and facilitate connection and collaboration all around soil health. The Soil Health Network offers place-based, bioregion-specific resources, connection, and culturally specific support, with the goal to ensure that all of Oregon's producers have the support they need to improve soil health and build climate resilience. The network provides, as I mentioned, place-based and peer-driven support, and this responds to both regional needs and cultural needs. We have 15 different network leads around the state that joined us within this past year, and they provide technical assistance and resources relating to soil health, including one-on-one consultation and on-farm education events. Our network leads provide and connect producers with resources, including financial incentives, equipment, soil testing, and other guides or reading and other resources. They also focus on building peer community by hosting events, farmer-to-farmer workshops, and cultivating those spaces for growers to share successes and challenges and provide support and inspiration for each other. A little bit more about the structure of the network. The grower, the producer, is at the center of the network. As we know, our producers are the ones stewarding the soil health. And so the rest of the network is providing that support and coordination to make sure that soil health resources are accessible, easy to find, that there's funding opportunities that support farmers' work in improving soil health, and that everyone knows what's going on in the soil health world too. So OrCAN, our organization, stewards the overall network. We have 11 different regional hub leads that are kind of the go-to people for each region for soil health support and referrals on the ground. We have culturally specific support. We have 4 organizations that are providing support and referrals and specialized expertise specifically to producers who identify as Black, Indigenous, or a producer of color. And we also have statewide resource people. So those are folks with technical or institutional expertise, tools, and resources on soil health practices. Thinking about our friends at OSU Extension who specialize in orchards. Those are folks who can go have one-on-one site visits with producers and have that wealth of knowledge around orchards, for example. And we engage with other producers and farm service providers in our network. Farm service providers are those providing technical assistance, resources, education, and other services to producers, including the Marion Soil and Water Conservation District. Here is the map of our partners around the state. We're very lucky to have Cesar Zamora with Marion SWCD as a regional hub lead here, and we also have Nikita Vincent with the Mid-Willamette Valley BIPOC Farmers Co-op in this region too, and other partners statewide. You can learn more about the Soil Health Network on our website. And we have a new interactive map that allows you to learn who is in your region to provide that soil health support. There's two ways to engage in the Soil Health Network right now. One is to find your local regional hub or culturally specific support organization using the link I just dropped in the chat or scanning this QR code, and taking OrCAN's network engagement survey. So getting involved in OrCAN's network, letting us know what you're looking for in support for soil health. And you can join our mailing list to receive specific information tailored to your needs. Beyond the network, I wanted to make sure to highlight all the other resources out there to improve soil health. This includes different readings or different strategies, so excited to share more here. Also on our website is a soil health resources page. We have resources for 5 different categories. We have resources in reading on soil health in Oregon, on funding opportunities, on identifying kind of what are the barriers to adapting and adopting soil health practices, and how can we address those barriers, and what are the benefits to soil health. We also have a whole section of resources on soil health available in Spanish on our website. I highly recommend checking out this webpage to understand the landscape of soil health resources out there. I also recommend a few other resources. Your local soil and water conservation district, like Marion SWCD, is a really wonderful resource to work with someone one-on-one on any natural resource concerns you may have, especially relating to soil and water. And they can provide guidance on soil testing and more. Also on our resources webpage, we have a spreadsheet that we keep updated on what soil and water conservation district soil health programs are operating around the state, which soil and water conservation districts offer soil testing resources or funding opportunities for soil health, or equipment rentals for soil health. I'm always excited to call out our OSU Extension staff, the organic agriculture team, small farms programs team are full of soil experts and enthusiasts who are dedicated to supporting growers, particularly farmers, in building soil health. And our master gardeners around the state as well work with gardeners specifically. And some things to think about if you're wanting to kind of continue learning about soil health on your kind of soil health learning journey is identifying how you like to learn. Are you driving a lot or out on the farm a lot and you want to listen to a podcast? Search for soil health podcasts. We even have some listed on our website. Do you like to read? Are there books or articles that help you learn about soil health? Do you like attending in-person events or talking one-on-one with someone, or just learn by doing and trial and error and seeing what works, or a mix of all of the above? So take a moment to think about how you like to learn and start searching for resources with the approach that works best for you. And lastly, it's proven that we learn so well by talking with others and seeing other examples. So talk to your neighbor or a grower you admire. Maybe you're shopping at the local farmer's market and you can ask the farmer, how did you grow this leek so beautifully? And what practices do they use? What has worked for them to reduce pests or weeds in their farm? So learning from each other, remembering that everyone is both learning and can be a teacher too. We still have so much to learn about soil. It's an ongoing area of research and something that you can do to learn more about your soil is conduct a soil test. And what I recommend that will be the most useful for you in the long term is using a accredited lab like the soil health lab at Oregon State University, for example. You can send soil samples to the lab and they get back to you within, I think, 4 to 5 weeks is their turnaround right now. And you can request different types of soil tests, whether that's focused on nutrients or on organic matter or pH or heavy metal testing too. So this is a resource that your local SWCD, like the Marion Soil and Water Conservation District, can support with sampling and sampling guidance and provide you guidance in the right direction to submit a sample to the Soil Health Lab and help interpret results too. There's a whole guide also linked on our OrCAN's resources website on how to interpret results. I'll put this slide up as well to say thank you for attending today. This is how you can join OrCAN's network. Something that I wanted to note too is that feeding the soil feeds us. I just saw that next week is International Compost Week. And that is the theme for the Compost Week, is that feeding the soil feeds us. So as you grow food in your garden, if you grow food for a wider audience as a farmer or rancher, taking care of the soil takes care of each other.
And thank you so much to our guest speaker today, Sage Fairman, for sharing her time and knowledge with us. We hope folks will stay tuned to the Marion SWCD events page for upcoming district and partner events and for future First Friday presentations. Thanks so much again, everyone, and have a wonderful rest of your day.